Hello, everyone. Welcome to Aligning with Success. It is June 25th, 2018. And as always, we bring to you information that we feel is relevant and important to help you align with success, as the title says. It just so happens that tonight we have a very special guest who seems to be aligning with success all the time. And in this particular instance, what got my attention was a notification, both by that she had forwarded to me and I had seen already on Facebook. There was a recent call among NICAN Latin America where Luis was presenting, Luis Casuga, the managing director of NICAN Latin America, was presenting some information about the State of the Union, so to speak. I guess it's a regularly scheduled call with the leaders. Veronica can tell us more about that. But anyway, what I learned from her and the Facebook post was that there is a contest going on in Latin America where you are recognized for progress in sponsoring new people into NICAN, new consultants, and not just you personally, but also members of your team. Again, details we can ask Veronica to share with us. I'm just going to go ahead and close out that line. Getting good at muting people when they don't mute themselves. Anyway, so I thought it was more than appropriate. I did have an agenda that I wanted to cover already this week, which was a couple of things. It was a pickup from last week's leadership call with Ben, which he talked about the idea of developing your we had a name for it. I'm just trying to remember what we called it. I think it was had to do with basically your brand, developing your personal brand and professionalism, because that's what people are going to see and measure before they measure anything about NICAN. And so one of the perfect examples of the kind of professionalism and branding that I'm talking about is in our guest speaker, Veronica Ampudia, who's here today from Mexico City, her hometown. Viva Mexico, way to go for the World Cup. I've been watching, actually, for you guys. Anyway, so she is in a leader pack ranked by the company in terms of the top people for personal sponsoring and team sponsoring in the first 5 months thus far of the year, which is part of their contest. And I thought, one of the things that we have been focusing all of our efforts, our attention, our dialogue on is honing those skills that will enable you to become more effective at sponsoring people into NICAN. Of course, we know statistically speaking that of the percentage of people that you enroll in NICAN, there's a percentage that go very, very, very slow, if at all. There's a percentage that go medium and sporadic. And then there's a percentage that tend to go much more quickly and some more dedicated to advancing to leadership ranks. So the number of people we have enrolling in our business directly correlates to the number of potential leaders that we have in the year. And leadership bonuses, of course, are paid on leaders. So developing leaders is the ultimate goal and quest of building a strong and successful NICAN business. So how does that happen? Leaders are leaders. They lead. But they are part of a group of people that you enroll. So I'm going to ask Veronica, welcome to our call. Thank you for joining us on this call to share with us some of the wisdom and insights that you seem to be honing and even replicating in your downline. I think that's critical information. I'm sure the attendance on this call will demonstrate how important this is, and obviously the playback. So first of all, Veronica, tell us, what is the contest that's running right now in Latin America?
Well, hello to everybody. Thanks, Mike, for the invitation to join Align with Success call. It is a pleasure for me to be with you tonight. And, well, the contest, I don't know if contest is the name. It's NICAN Latin America measures every month certain variables. So it measures best BP, best group volume, personal volume, organizational volume, who's best in incorporation and who's best in rank advancement.
So just to clarify, incorporations meaning enrollments.
Enrollments.
And then best in rank advancements. Do those enrollees advance in rank and so forth?
Exactly. So to my surprise, because I was definitely not waiting to be in that chart, we are on third place in Latin America. And it was a big surprise because, as you know, the launch of 2018 has been like not very easy, because in this business there's easy times and then there's hard times, and then it's not all a ride in the park. So I decided to relaunch my business. I decided to go out and start from scratch as if I had no team at all. And I found very nice and hardworking and passionate people that really understand what they want. So I have a frontline team, new team, that's growing dramatically. And they're very like conscious minded of what steps they need to take. And in other personal volume legs, because I'm good at strategy, but I don't like to taproot people, like just you go here and you go there. I'm not
stacking people. You don't like stacking people.
Maybe it's wrong, but I'm not very good at doing that. So what happened is 5 of the new legs started growing. So one grew like boom, like they have, I think, 20 new consultants in 1 month, in one leg. And the others had just a few, maybe 1 or 5 or 4. Or so this new boom, I saw these consultants, and I'm doing trainings and ABCs. And so you get caught up like in the rhythm of your business, but I'm never like chasing ranks or chasing the contest or chasing to be on certain spot. So it was a big surprise for me to be there, because I didn't expect to be there. And I think it's the result of relaunching myself. So I decided to relaunch myself. And in order to relaunch myself, I had to start working with new people, different faces, different energy. So it's scary to start something new. And it's scary to stop doing what you're doing every day, to do something totally different. But it absolutely works.
Okay, I'm going to have a million questions for you, because just in the statements that you had alone, I can think of 10 already. So, okay, let me just recap one of the points you made, is that you found people who know what they want. I think that's a pretty huge statement, because it seems to me that's why you're not having to chase them, is because they're recognizing something of value here, and they're starting to become functional. And then you're basically supporting that activity. And I like the other thing that you said was that you didn't chase the rank, you didn't chase the incentives, but they're happening as a consequence, I would say, just in light of what you're saying, because the work that you're doing is productive, and the work that they're doing is productive. That's a consequence of the work that you're doing. So I'm going to ask you about the focus of this work. So let's go back. First of all, you decided to relaunch your business as a diamond. You're relaunching your business. And I think that's really smart, because one of the things that I did in my Nikan career was every rank advancement I relaunched. So a rank advancement didn't ensure the next rank advancement. That was one of the things I learned early on in the business, was the people who took me to gold didn't necessarily take me to platinum. The people who took me to platinum didn't necessarily take me to diamond. The people who took me to diamond didn't necessarily take me to royal diamond. So I had to always find a new team, which with each one of those pushes forward. And it was conscientious. It was a decision to do it. Now, mind you, I didn't need as many, but I did need a group. And so every time I launched, I put on a number of people on my front line. So right now you're showing with 12 new what you call frontals, personally enrolled, and then a number of that's been duplicated through your organization. So can you give us the mindset of what you did to initiate this action? Where did this list of, these are two questions in one, and where did your list of names come from?
Well, actually, in September, it's going to be 7 years that I joined Niken, and I haven't finished my list of 100 people. So that's where it comes from. It's there. I haven't finished. So
fantastic. Okay.
I always go back, and I go back to people that I'm stubborn as hell. So I go back to people that I presented before, and every year I go back and say, you know what? I'm better trained. I'm better prepared. Would you listen to me again, please? Just for you to evaluate. Let's play Shark Tank or something like that. So people go, okay, yeah. And it's amazing how people are coming back. People that said, no, I have a humongous prospect in San Diego, and she's been telling me no for 7 years. And last week she called and said, you know what? Okay, I'm going to do this. So I'm going to meet her in Chicago at the beginning of July, and that joining the business. And I had to wait 7 years.
Well, you bring up the point that I wanted to talk about today, which was the importance of follow-up. And I also have a sub-note to myself: bait them with their motivation. You know, when you're fishing, you got to put bait on the end of the hook to attract whatever it is that you're looking to attract. And when we're trying to attract people into this business, it's not your motivation, it's their motivation. So bait them with their motivation, which means you need to know what it is. So with respect to this follow-up, people, you change. Their motivation can change. Their circumstances in life can change. And if you're not following up, you might miss it. They might pick up an opportunity with somebody else. And the fact that 7 years, this person, how many times do you think you've contacted this person over the 7 years?
And she's always saying, yeah, don't tell me this time. No. You know what? Last time I saw her, I said, you know what? I don't even want you in my business. So, and that was last year. So she knows I'm there. She knows, I think, the world about her. So I just tell her, just without joking, I will be waiting you for whenever you're ready.
Okay, so with respect to that's one of the 12, but the others, do you have a good rapport with these other people? These people you've known for a long time, people you've met?
No, one is a German, which is an adorable German. My husband was standing talking to this guy, and I heard his accent, and I didn't know who he was. And I said, oh, are you from Germany? And he said, obviously. And I said, well, you need to be my partner. I'm sorry, this conversation between you two is over. You need to talk to me because I need you in my business and I need to grow Germany and you need to be my partner. So your meeting, guys, it's over. This is now my meeting. So he said, I have to go, but I'll see you next week. And I followed up and we sat down and he signed into the business. And actually he recruited his wife, which is amazing. Just by herself, she's recruited 15 people in 1 month.
Wow.
And she's a teacher. She's a professional in security. And she has very clear in her mind that she wants to be independent.
Okay, so
So
it seems extraordinary to me. First of all, you said you sat down with the guy he enrolled. Did he enroll in the first meeting you met with him?
no, because he had to go. But in the next meeting that I sat with him, um, I told him, well, you have to enroll like now because we need to start working, and he did.
Okay. All right. Well, what information, what process? Like, how does a person go from just meeting you to enrolling with you in a
The
meeting?
5x4.
Okay, so this is a presentation that you have shown us before. It's available, and we don't have to get into it now. You can search for it online. I believe we may have even included it in the Royal Alliance YouTube channel, but if we didn't, just look for Veronica Ampudia and then 5x4. So you can go, she's got an English version, a Spanish version. Okay, so you're basically, and I know that presentation, so essentially you're doing the presentation that we talk about, the conversation that we talk about, the why, the how, the what, and you do it all like a like a napkin presentation. You cover it all. And how long is that presentation?
15 minutes.
Okay, so
20 the most.
you're taking something that we tend to exacerbate into days and putting it into a 15-minute conversation, but you're covering all the main points just the same. So that's one thing that I would say we should all pick up on lickety split yesterday. Now, the people you said some of these people are people you're meeting. Some of them are people you've known for a while. Any other combination?
Yeah, well, I recruited a team of teenagers that wanted money to go to Europe in the summer. So, so I posted on Facebook, I'm doing an entrepreneur's summer camp, and everybody started replying. So what are you teaching them? And that's how it all started. But these guys made $700 a week. In a week, in his first week.
Wow,
So
fantastic.
yeah, he was very excited because he was not earning that money in any other job in a week.
So how?
And so he invited his friends.
Okay, but did he make the money first, then invite his friends, or did he invite his friends and then make the money? How did it
No,
go?
he invited his friends, but he made the money part with his friend's job, but most of it on his own, doing sales on his own.
Okay. Is there any product in particular that you teach people to lead with, or you kind of leave it up to them?
I sat with them 2 meetings and they said, okay, we get it. They left and they don't want to come back. So it's all through WhatsApp and just voice notes, and I'm learning to work with them because it's like I feel so old and I don't get it. But I'm trying to catch up with these guys and see how they want to do it. They want it fast. They don't care about much information. They even feel the 5x4 is a lot.
Fantastic. Okay, so before we take any questions, let me just stay focused on this. We'll get to that. Okay, so you've got a mixed match of people that you're enrolling. You're doing it with some degree of consistency. It didn't all happen in 1 month, right? It's been spread out over the last 5 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, and I have like moms from school that now that the kids are graduating, like they're ready to do something else. So it's a mixed match of all ages, which has not been easy because I like to do one-on-ones and customize things. So this Saturday I'm doing a training, like just putting everybody together, and let's see how it goes, because they have so many different needs and so many different levels of understanding and speed that, boy.
But it seems to me that you're chasing, well, you say you're not chasing them, but I mean, they're leading you versus the other way around.
Yes, they're like, I feel like I'm water skiing. Literally.
Well, I'll tell you something. This must sound so weird for everybody listening on this call because it's just not something they're used to. And so obviously, and I'm going to say this, and maybe you can help us understand this better. Obviously, we are attracting a different type of person because of who we are being. And you seem to be attracting people who are leading right out of the chute because of who you are being. You've had a little bit of interaction with the North Americans. So I would like to know, what do you see as a difference between how we are doing things, or what you've perceived of the people that you've interacted with, versus how you're doing things on your end? Like, if you can give us a golden nugget or two about those differences.
Well, maybe my personality is kind of, I don't care what people think.
Ooh, that's a big one. I'll tell you something, that's huge for most people. So underscore that one, underline that one. How critical is that? Go ahead.
So I really don't care. So I have a lot of fun to interfere into my husband's meeting and say, hey, wait, he's German, he's mine. So my husband is laughing. He doesn't care. I don't care. So I'm having fun and I'm enjoying doing something that normally would be so out of line.
Why do you feel so compelled to tell these people, any of them? Why are you so driven to tell them about Nikken?
Because I know the opportunity. I know that any person who doesn't have $5 million in the bank to live out of your intereses, of your interest, you need Nikken.
So for you, it's a hands down, clear understanding that the opportunity is for somebody to create some financial stability in their life.
Yes, or to help somebody else, or to improve your life in some way.
So for you, it's not a question.
I'm sick and tired of seeing people conform. Conform.
Settle.
So I'm really tired of seeing that. I'm doing well because I just have what I need, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, no. So I can't deal with that. So I see in people, for example, in this guy, he has so much potential, so much to give. He's partner of another German that he's my cliente, my customer since 5 years ago. And we tried doing Nikken with his company, but the CEO of that company was not being very helpful. So suddenly life puts me this German who is partner of the other German. So it's a different approach to get working with this company that I tried, but from another angle. So when my husband said he's the partner of this guy, I'm like, no, you're not leaving this room without signing this contract.
Okay. So you're connecting dots. You're seeing opportunity. You're seeing possibility for them, for yourself. You're very forward, I guess, is what's coming across as you're very forward.
I was actually reading like the manual of a launch from another network marketing company, just out of curiosity.
Yeah.
And I was impressed, Mike, to see the first value they have is be direct and transparent.
Yep.
And I was like, oh my God. Because I've always felt like kind of, oh my God, am I being too transparent? Am I being too direct? So I have calls with Luis Casuga in a regular or period of time. So I met with him in a month, and we talked about me doing an experiment of trying to be who I'm not. So trying to be all nice and cute and adorable. So I tried, and I tried for 90 days, and it was a disaster, a disaster. So we laughed a lot because he said, so what did you learn? Did you learn that you have to be yourself? So it was a big learning, because sometimes we're so afraid to be ourselves, or so afraid of what the other person might think of us, that we're trying to be somebody we're not. And I promise that if I can be myself and grow my business, I mean, anybody in the world can do it. Because I'm not an easy person. I'm too direct, and I'm too blunt, and I'm too straightforward. And people don't like that, but they're joining. So if you're just one notch down from my intensity, you're doing great.
And if you're 10 knots down, you need to ramp it up, is what
No,
you
no, just be yourself.
Be yourself. Well, okay. Direct, transparent. I mean, that's my approach. I've always promoted that. I've always felt that that was the right way. Okay. So we're going to open up, because I know there's a whack of questions, even more that I have. Is there any tool or anything that you think that we're missing, or that you're using, that is the difference? Because you've got people starting right away, and I'm just curious, with what instruction, how do you get them started right away? What's governing that? Are you governing that? Or is there a training system you're following? What is it?
Well, I do have a training system that I have been developing with my leaders. It has taken us years of putting information together and finding what's best. And we want to translate this in English today. I want to recognize Dee and Cecilia Perez from Chicago. We had and Connie, our first Chicago area event at Northfield. And Dee presented products, I presented the business. 2 people showed up, but one is a new consultant. So I'm very happy and motivated to start translating all our materials into English. And yes, we do have a process. Not everybody follows the process, but I try to give specific calls to action every week. So for the first month is recruit. Who do you have new? Who do you have new? ABCs. So if they complain, did you do ABCs? Okay, then we can't talk about anything else. If we're not doing ABCs and we're not recruiting, there's nothing to talk about.
And so are your ABCs with this new group of people mostly on the phone, or are you doing them in person?
Sometimes they come to my house. Sometimes I go to their house. Sometimes we do it by Zoom, sometimes by phone. So it varies.
So it's not any one way, but it's just any way that you can make it happen.
It's just get connected. Get connected and put the most number of different faces in front of your new people as quickly as possible.
Oh man, that's the message that we had last week. So critical, so important. The more exposure that a person has to multiple A's, the more. And
you finished an event today. Today you have the invitation for next week. Today. So you can't stop this momentum. There's no tomorrow. It's just do today. It sounds like a very used phrase, but do today what you could do tomorrow. So if it scares you, that's great, because it means it's exciting you, and that will make different things happen. So
fantastic. Okay. Any questions? If you have a question for Veronica, just unmute. I know we're going to have a few. So let me just open up here, and one at a time. I'll see if I can maybe just raise your hand and I can single you out so you don't come in at the same time. And Any questions while you're gathering your thoughts, folks?
I have a question. This is
Go ahead,
Barb.
Barb.
When you mentioned your training, you got people together for training. Did you do that via Zoom, or was everybody local and you got them together in person?
I try to bring everyone together, and this city is crazy, and most of this new group live like an hour and a half away. But I really ask them to come, and I only connect by Zoom those who live outside of the city, because I really want people to make an effort to connect and to know other people in person and get to know me, because I know a lot of people by the phone or by Zoom, but at least they will go out with trained and with new contacts.
Okay, so one of the things that you're saying that's really important is the experience of interacting in person with people. That is part of the lock-in. You're actually creating a lock-in experience that gives them a sense of belonging, that gives them a sense of being part of a team, which is really, really critical.
Yeah, maybe Dee and Ceci might think that I'm a little crazy, but Dee drove an hour and a half today to be at the event and present product. But Ceci will drive an hour and a half next Monday to be at Dee's home. So they're doing one-on-one.
So Vera, when you came in, did you come in via Zoom to their meeting?
Yeah, I went in via Zoom.
Okay, cool. And with respect to the people that are out of the city, are you bringing them into that meeting via Zoom, the same meeting that you got live people at?
Yes.
Or are you doing a separate? Oh, you are?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you're doing an event at your home, and you're inviting the newbies to be part of it. You're asking for their commitment, regardless of the fact they have to drive an hour and a half. For those outside of the city, you're asking them to connect via Zoom into the meeting. And you've got the meeting set up in a way that they can watch live as you do the training.
Yes.
And maybe take questions and so forth. But
I go out to other cities when they have a silver rank and they have a group of at least 20 people.
Okay, so that's when you actually go.
20 people for training or 50 for an event. Because I've done that. You get all excited, yippee-yay-wee, and then you start traveling and wasting a lot of money and going everywhere, and you get there and nothing happens, and you're exhausted. You spent all this money. So
in this new approach, what you're saying is you're asking people to show up and get things going before you're expected to show up there. They need to be self-starters. Okay, so in the training, what is the instruction that leads them to believe that or understand that?
I talk a lot about self-motivation and what you want. Because you can get to platinum or to diamond in this business without having a gold card in your wallet. So then you're going to be frustrated, and you can have the best mentor, the best training, but if you can't pick yourself up together on your own, then it's very difficult. And this business can be quite challenging at times. So I always try to talk about the good and the bad, because I wish more people would have told me what they went through, because I always have listened to UPA super marvelous stories, but I've only heard Mike talk like real stuff. So it's nice to hear the real stuff, the challenges, when you are crying because nothing that you do is working. And you try again and you make another mistake, and you try again and you lost a contact, and you try again and they're not answering the phone. So, but we've all gone through that. So what's important is how you come back. So people that are not answering the phone, I find a way to meet with them again and say, okay, obviously I did something very wrong, but I want to fix it because I don't want to harass you.
That's great. Again, the directness of that.
So just laugh about yourself. It's actually fun.
Great advice. Great advice. People want to be a part of something that's fun. As I look around the world, I see a lot of people very upset, very angry, very stressed. And so, yeah, I totally get why having fun, making it fun will be attractive.
But I don't think I'm a fun person, but I laugh about my mistakes. And I don't care what others think. And so I think that helps. And I'm transparent and direct. So.
Okay, we've got 10 minutes. Any other questions for Veronica?
I have one.
Go ahead, Linda.
Mucho gusto, Veronica. Me llamo Linda.
Hola, Linda.
Hola. One question for you. If any, do you use any printed material in Spanish and or English? Anything, business cards, postcards, anything so people can know what they're going to be encountering at your meetings and your gatherings?
Well, yes, I have business cards with me always. But you know what? I don't think they even work that well because nobody calls me. so I don't know if I should keep investing on them. It's something you need to have, but honestly, I don't know how popular they are. Printed material. I used to be a very structured person, and I'm kind of becoming a hippie because now I'm kind of a disaster. I used to have all these materials and go out on the street with a binder with every detailed thing. And I was just lifting that horrible thing everywhere. And I ended up never using it, so I trashed it all. I stopped investing money on paper stuff because I started forgetting to bring them. So I make sure I have a notebook that I bring with me everywhere and my pen. And so I open my notebook and I start doing the 5x4 and I memorize everything. And the moment I started speaking from the heart, and just what it makes me connect with the other person personally. So I have to put attention very well to their body language, what they're answering or saying. So if I have printed material, then I feel like a robot, repeating the same thing in the same way with the same material. And I get bored of myself. So when I started doing it just like this, so it's just me and you. So I will keep talking depending on what I see in your face. So sometimes I say, you're so scared that you want to run away, like right now, right? Like me. The first time I heard about these magical products and millionaire business. So then they start laughing. And so it helps me connect in another level. But there's tools you need to have. So buying the tools that Life in Balance Tools provides is very good to have. It's critical to have. Because you get more familiarized with those. It's not don't have anything, just have them, but your life doesn't depend on using them every time.
And one follow-up question to Veronica. When you have your binder, do you have a way of at least writing down their name and their phone number so you can contact them through text, Facebook?
Yes.
Okay.
What's your most used tool?
Every time I give my card, nobody calls me. So I open my notebook and give them my pen and say, can you please write your information? Because if you tell me, I will surely make a mistake because I do it every time. So can you please write your information? because I've lost like trillions of contacts by me writing stuff. It was not an E, it was an A, it was a U, it was an O, it was a one. I know. Disastrous.
Okay, with respect to communication tools, what's your favorite?
Communication tools? Zoom.
Okay, so that gives you the visual component. What else do you use?
And I have fun using the controller, analytic, promoter, and helper. Do you have those quadrants?
The quadrants, yeah.
The communication quadrants?
Yes.
I have a lot of fun using those because people start talking and I say, oh, you're such a controller. So they start laughing. Or you're such a promoter. Do you want to go on a trip? Oh, yes. Entonces you start your conversation through that.
Okay, I was leading to this. How important is WhatsApp to your business?
Oh, critical. That's my business. My middle name business is called WhatsApp.
Okay. Any other questions for Veronica?
I do trainings on WhatsApp. I have a training, which is a 30-day training. So every day I post something about product and about business. And I do it jointly with Paula. So Paula posts product, I post business every day for 30 days.
On WhatsApp?
On WhatsApp.
Who's part of that group?
All the new people.
Okay. So you started a WhatsApp chat for your new people, and then you consistently feed that group a product message and a business message every day.
Every day. And nobody can reply. There's no thank yous, okay, yippee-yays, congratulations, hearts, smiles.
Veronica is on our launch partner's WhatsApp chat. Veronica, tell me if it drives you as mad as it drives me when you see all of that. It's like,
No, I have worse. I'm gonna invite you. There's worse things, Mike. But,
okay, Barbara has a question. Go ahead, Barbara.
Yeah, first off, whenever I see anybody do that, I kind of chuckle because I know what's going to happen next. But so this is maybe kind of a redundant question, Veronica, because you don't have anything like really set in stone. You're very spontaneous with what you do. So when I meet people, the business card thing never works, like you say, but they always want me to send them some link to look at. And then I have to go through the thing of like, what's the best connection for that person? And sometimes I don't really feel like I find one. So what do you do in that situation?
Oh, I have 4 videos that are like, that's the only thing I send out. So it's a video in Spanish called, oh my God, really? I was trying to think about it in English, and then it's about the business. ¿Quiénes somos? I was trying to think about it, who we are. I don't know if you have it in English.
No.
But it's ¿Quiénes somos? Another one, it's the technology video. There's a Nikon technology video, which is very good, short. It talks about the 3 technologies. Then there's a video called Oportunidad de Negocio, which is the business opportunity. It's short, it's very good. And the 5x4.
So from my understanding from what you just said, we only have 5x4. We don't have those other 3. Would you agree with that, Mike?
Well, I would say maybe the Life and Balance video is probably as close as we can get that sort of combines business and product.
You have a very good one, the Life Child. What's that video, Mike? The foundation?
Oh, the child? No.
Wake Up Story.
Wake Up Story.
Wake Up Story.
Yeah.
So that's a very good video to send.
So that sort of presents the argument of why a wellness home, why the products are relevant in this day and age. And then a Life and Balance, I guess, would be the counter to that. Okay. Good video counter. With respect to, the 5x4, we have Veronica's English version of that. That's really good.
Yeah.
And there's one that you said is a business opportunity presentation or technology product, the 3 technologies. And I guess if we scoured our Nikon library, we would find videos on that, although they're not all maybe in one spot. But that, again, Veronica, you're using that as a tool. Maybe it's not a necessary thing. It's something, because what I heard you say almost every time was connection. I connect better with them. It's really about making connections and helping them have multiple connections, which creates an experience.
Yeah, and what I do is I tell people why I want you. So
that's really important.
You're not just.
Can you give me an example of that? Let's say you were telling me.
Okay, I want you to be my partner because you're intelligent, because you're structured, because you are the kind of person that achieves whatever you really want.
So you're really putting it out there that what you want is a partner.
Yeah. And for example, in the teenagers, I want you because I need ambassadors amongst teenagers. And I'm too old for that. So
Great.
Would you like to help me?
Great. And how is it different for them? How are they seeing this differently? How are they seeing it where they're not thinking, oh, this is an old person's business or it's a whatever? Like, how are you making that?
Well, maybe they're thinking that. But what they're seeing is that they can actually earn $700 in a week. So they don't care if she's old or she's boring.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Any other question? Last question.
I have one. Veronica.
Last question, Dee.
Veronica, I know this was sort of a different stance with this event that we were planning for today. And, you know, your desire really was that we would have given the people some information, done an ABC, have them maybe even be signed up as a consultant before they came to this, which is, you know, I've often they were almost like cold off the street coming to an event. So I don't know if you could say a little more about that. That might be helpful to all of us, because maybe everybody else is somewhere in between, but maybe they're on both ends of that spectrum. But clearly it's working for you folks. So,
well, this is a really great point, because Veronica, you and I had this conversation. Do you invite people cold to an event as a recruiting event, or is there a step before that?
Not even then, because I did it at the beginning a lot of times, and it was terrible. So I never, ever, 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 ever invite someone to an event without being signed up as a consultant. For me, it's a great risk. If they show up tonight and they see us, I don't know what they're going to think, but if they think this is a horrible group of people, they will never, ever sign up. And that's not enough information, because this is a group of great people, and I'm exposing, to me, a new consultant is a newborn baby. Who would take a newborn baby to a party to meet 30 people that you don't know if they have the flu or if they wash their hands? Because nobody would do that. So your new consultant and your new prospects are a newborn baby. So how do you treat a newborn baby? So we're exposing these newborn babies to all these experiences, and then we don't understand why they have epilepsy, because they're all like this. Who's going to want to join?
Okay, so just so that we're not contradicting the earlier statement, which was about multiple contacts, there is that first contact that you're saying sets the tone for all the other ones.
Yeah, so that's why in the 5x4, I say the contact, then invite, then do the ABCs, then training, and then you're ready to show up to an event. So these people today, they were cold as what? As cold as stone? They showed up to the event. But these are people that Ceci contacted a year ago. Mm-hmm. So they knew something already, and Ceci knew something. The ideal for me is don't do an ABCs. An ABC is a confirmation of your information. So if you take somebody and hot potato it to somebody else for an ABCs, how would you feel to be the hot potato thrown out because I'm so scared that catch this thing? so
I just hope everybody caught that. The understanding is you got a new person that you think is a great prospect, and that's the hot potato, so you toss it to your upline or crossline because you don't want to handle that. You're afraid to talk to this person. Of course, that's a terrible impression. So yeah, you're right. Why do an ABC? Because that person knows nothing. How can the A validate information when they don't know anything?
No, and I don't want to sign up with somebody that's tossing me right immediately because they don't know what to do with me.
Yeah, good point. Great point. Well, I promised Veronica this call was going to be 45 minutes, and we're already 5 minutes over. So I'm going to say thank you for joining us tonight, Veronica. Your energy, your enthusiasm, your training information is always contagious. So I hope some of this spills off to all of us, and we're able to make a real go for the next quarter. I'm very excited about seeing many of you. You've already got your tickets for the Toronto event. Some of I'm going to see you down in Orlando. We'll definitely be seeing more of Veronica. So thanks for joining in. Tomorrow night, by the way, Veronica is co-hosting with me and Barbara, the Diamond out of Mexico as well, an event for the Hispanic launch. If you're curious about that, as you know, Veronica and her team are already invading North America, so you can let her have it all, or you can jump in and participate anytime you like, and let's make that a focal point for this year. Well, thank you, Veronica. Thanks everybody for joining.
Thank you.
And we'll see you. Oh, by the way, next week is a holiday in Canada. It's the holiday. Well, you guys have your July 4th. We have our Canada Day, but it spills over into the Monday because of the Sunday. So there won't be a call next Monday. Next Monday night, we'll resume 2 weeks from tonight. So thanks again, everybody. Thanks, Veronica.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.